It's pretty high up there as far as environmental sustainability.
We're going to take this house apart, salvage 70% of it.
Everything we need to survive, we are producing.
Hi, welcome to Save My Planet. I'm Stephen Brooks here at Rancho Margot in Costa Rica, a model of sustainability that's taken the concept of reuse to a whole new level. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Did you know that American automobiles consume more than 8 million barrels of oil every day? The obvious way to cut back is to drive less. But for some of us, that's not always an option. If you can't give up your wheels, there is an eco-friendly alternative, biofuels. They're made from plant oils, animal fats, and even recycled grease. We found some guys in the Midwest that are powering up their rides on used oil that they're gathering from local restaurants.
My name is Ikram Bukhari. I believe that we have a finite number of raw materials in the world, and fuel is one of them. And right now, the carbon emissions that happen with cars really is breaking down the ozone and warming up the planet. And so this is just my effort, my small effort to try to kind of reverse that to some degree. I started my epiphany about 10 years ago, and it was important for me to drive something that was more green. And I started learning more about diesel, and I found out more about the newer diesel engines, much cleaner, much more quieter, far more efficient. And for that purpose, I said, okay, well, this is the shift that I'm going to make.
My name is Pete Probst. I help run a nonprofit called Chicago Biofuels. Chicago Biofuels was founded by about 5 core individuals who basically were looking to buy biodiesel in the city, and we found that it just wasn't available. So we started an organization where we could start picking up waste vegetable oil from restaurants to use in our diesel vehicles. This is a little setup that we use for filtering vegetable oil, and this basically just cleans the vegetable oil so that we can use it in vehicles that are modified to be able to use it. There's basically 2 ways you can use vegetable oil in a diesel vehicle. You can either modify the vehicle or you can modify the vegetable oil. When you modify the vegetable oil, that's what's called biodiesel. And basically you're doing a chemical process and are changing the characteristics of the vegetable oil so it's the same viscosity as petroleum diesel.
But what if I want to kiss my gas station goodbye and make the switch to straight vegetable oil?
Because it is thicker than diesel, when you want to use vegetable oil in a car, you can't just pour it right in. You have to modify the vehicle.
My car is a Volkswagen 2005 diesel. We bought a system that allows us to basically switch from diesel to vegetable oil. It's a series of hoses and some electronics. You look at the car, you can see that really it just looks like an ordinary car. We wanted to make sure that the majority of the components of the vegetable kit really were buried in the car. What you have is this large filter that filters the oil, just like a car's normal oil filter, and then basically runs the vegetable oil right through the engine. Think of it like 2 hoses, one hose that runs diesel and the other one that runs vegetable, and there's an electronic switch that just switches back and forth.
Because vegetable oil is thicker than diesel, usually you have 2 fuel tanks, one for the diesel fuel, one for the vegetable oil. You start up on the diesel fuel while your heaters are heating up and heating the vegetable oil, and then you switch over to vegetable oil.
The temperature has to be over 160 degrees. And what I have is a temperature gauge right here, this blue dial, that tells me what the temperature is. So as soon as it hits 160, this light goes on that basically tells me that the kit is ready to switch over. And so then what I do is I just press the button, and you can see that it's now converted over. And you can't hear it, you can't feel it because it's very seamless. There's no difference. It's running right now strictly on vegetable oil.
And the best part, they're using oil that otherwise would have ended up in the trash.
It's a reused fuel. We're not taking virgin oils. We're basically taking oils that were discarded from restaurants. Hey, Chrissy, how you doing?
Hi, Pete. How are you? Pete comes in about once a week, hauls the cooking oil away, and we feel great. We are not only saving money, we are doing something to save the environment, and it's a win-win situation as far as we're concerned.
There's a network of people that are willing to either sell or exchange fuel in different locations. So that's really how most of us do it. It sounds complicated what we've done, but it's very easy, and I would highly recommend it because you will be saving obviously the environment, less pollution, and really running a car that, in my opinion, runs far better on vegetable oil than it does on traditional diesel.
So do you want to trick out your car? It cost Ikram only about $2,000 to convert his engine. And now, he only spends about $1.85 a gallon on fuel. And it's pretty much all the clean stuff. When we come back, we're going to take a stroll through the Big Easy, New Orleans, and find out how salvage operations are keeping post-Katrina debris out of the landfill. Welcome back to Save My Planet. When Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans in 2005, 80% of the city flooded, and thousands of people were left homeless. To preserve New Orleans' unique character and to keep valuable building materials out of the landfill, some folks found some innovative ways to help put their city back together.
With Katrina, immediately, we had a lot of houses that were damaged beyond habitability and no real place for a lot of the debris to go. So landfills were being overwhelmed, and the Green Project were able to take that, lumber from houses that are being destroyed or demolished and keep them from the landfill and make them available for reuse in other projects. The Green Project is a nonprofit building materials salvage operation. We'll take leftover or replaced building materials, clean them up a little bit, and make them available to the public at a reduced rate. With an old city like New Orleans and its 200-year-old architecture, salvage operations become very important just so that both historically significant pieces and matching pieces are still available to the public. They don't need to necessarily be custom milled at tremendous cost when they're available just at a salvage operation.
Salvage shops are also a great source for basic building materials. Guys like Willie White take apart damaged homes piece by piece and recycle everything from floorboards to nails.
I'm Willie White, and this is our next project for the Old City Building Center. We're going to deconstruct this house and salvage 60 to 70% of the volume of this house. This building is about 1,800 square feet of floor area. We'll probably salvage 1,400 to 1,500 square feet of flooring out of it, 3,000 to 4,000 square feet of this tongue and groove paneling, wallboard, beaded board, 2,500 board feet of 2x8 and 2x6 joists. And I do end up recycling probably 1 million to 1.5 million tons of material a year.
And a lot of that material makes its way to salvage shops, like the Green Project, where you never know what you'll find.
Somebody will say, this has been taking up space, let me get rid of it, and they'll drop it off for the purpose of keeping it from the landfill. All it takes is another set of eyes and a different mindset to say, wow, this is exactly what I was looking for. It really drives the artistic and creative spirit in people.
Well, I'm Mike Prados, and this is my house right here, and then this is Jeff Treffinger, who's been the project manager. Where we're standing right now, I'd say the water would probably have been about up to my forehead. It was a mess. Not only had everything gotten wet, all the sheetrock, the floors, all the furniture, but then all the mold came in, so it was really disgusting. Let's go ahead and take a walk through and we'll show you some of the things we've done.
He salvaged all the baseboards, took the doors off, and I mean, he was very conscious of preserving all of the things that made this house this house.
The floors in here, they were looking pretty bad. After a few feet of water had sat on them and just all the dirt and mess.
What people are doing is they're salvaging old warehouses. They're taking beams that have 150-year-old pine, and then they're milling them into floorboards that are half-inch thick so that you can get some of this really tight graining. That's indicative of a very old tree, and that's what the original house looks like.
I picked up this door from a salvage place and made it fit in this spot. I also picked up a transom window with a fleur-de-lis on it, and then just kind of used an older look with the tile. When you lose something that's old and, traditional and beautiful, you lose a little part of the integrity. When we put practicality ahead of beauty, we've lost something.
We almost have a personal relationship with both the product and with our clientele. And so bringing them together makes us feel as though we're helping on two fronts, both with people as they rebuild and with the environment as we're keeping things from clogging the landfills.
The next time you throw something away, ask yourself, does it have a little more life in it? Trash is in the eyes of the beholder. When we come back, we're gonna take a look at Rancho Margot, an off-the-grid, self-sufficient farm in Costa Rica that's put a whole new spin on the concept of sustainability. If you're redecorating or refurnishing your home, you can reduce your carbon footprint with pre-owned furniture. A lot of energy and natural materials are spent manufacturing new tables, chairs, and sofas. But you can help save those resources and save money by buying from vintage stores and salvage shops. Plus, giving a new home to old furniture will keep it out of the landfill. Welcome back to Save My Planet. We're here at Rancho Margot, an integrated resort in Costa Rica, where sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life. I'm here with Juan Sauce Time here at Rancho Margot near Lake Arnault in Costa Rica, and wow, just even the walk in here, it's so beautiful. So what's your vision for this place?
Well, it's sort of like an integrated resort, self-sustained, self-sufficient, and we do things by closing the circle. It's not a little operation where you say, come and look at my chickens. It is a totally self-sufficient, integrated resort that we are trying to create.
That's great.
I always say we have three legs to stand on. One is the tourism, the other one is the production, and the most important one is the educational aspect.
You know, the key is, to subtly slip in the education. Sure, we're coming here to this hotel and there's a lot of fun things. We can go horseback riding, we can see waterfalls. But it's like you sneak in that education. It's all of a sudden people are like, wow, I've come here to Rancho Margot and I've learned so much. It really sounds great, Juan, But enough talk. Can we go see the place?
Let's go.
Come on. So here we are at the chicken coop. Looks like you got a lot of chickens here, Juan.
We have about 500-600 chickens right now. They eat everything natural. They're outside.
So how many eggs are these chickens producing?
Next year, we hope to produce about 200,000. I think we'll have a good market for them. People love to eat eggs, and the taste is totally different.
It's really important when you go shopping at your markets for eggs, to try to find out where they're coming from. Try to find organic, try to find free range, try to find chickens that are happy, because a happy chicken means a happy egg. You have other animals as well, Juan?
Sure, we have cows, we have pigs. The goal for next year as far as pigs go is for about 600 pigs a year. And to process the meat here. We sell already meat to our employees. We use the meat also for feeding our guests. I just want to make sure that whatever I eat is healthy and raised in a certain way. This is basically where we have all our waste, our poop, okay, but it's our resources. What we do is all the liquid and solid waste combined comes either from the pigs or from the cows. The solid waste we give to these guys here, these worms. So all these worms here are digesting all these nutrients that are in here and basically turned this poop into wonderful rich soil and great protein source for our chickens. The chickens just take all the worms out of there and we get fantastic earth.
So then this soil gets used in the gardens?
Yeah, it's a full circle.
Oh, this is so beautiful, Juan. How much area do you have under cultivation?
Well, we have about 10 acres that we're growing things on. We grow everything that we possibly can. It's a little difficult, but it's a long-term process and it's fun.
We have our whole lives.
And it tastes wonderful.
It really does. Want to bite?
Yeah.
Wow, you have a lot of compost, Juan. What are you doing with it all?
Well, we're heating water.
Compost?
Yeah, we have about 20 tons of compost heating up all the hot water for the bungalows.
So explain to me, Juan, how exactly does this work?
Well, basically you have organic matter that decomposes and you end up getting about 70 degrees centigrade of temperature inside. Here we run about 7 kilometers worth of tubing through here. So what happens is that hot compost, after a while, in contact with these pipes, is heating up the water inside. It's all part of using the technology in a way that it still has a low impact, but it's not against using technology. We have here a typical example of micro hydro power generation. We harness the power of a river here and we convert it into energy. This area basically is where we get to the end of the process of decomposition. Here we have the biodigesters that produce methane gas.
So the methane digester takes the liquid waste, turns it into methane, and then that methane is sent to your kitchen to cook with?
That's the way it is, exactly that way. And it's free energy.
It's amazing what you've done here. You know, it's really an incredible community of just so many different elements to it. But what about like the outside world? How are you reaching out to the places around here?
One of the key things we're doing now is basically a project where we're working with the local businesses and the local community to collect all their waste oil. And we're paying them with soap that we make out of that waste oil. So we can close the whole loop and make it a closed circle again.
Excellent. Wow, talk about a model of sustainability. When we come back, we'll see how Rancho Margot is cleaning up with their soap-making operation. Welcome back to Save My Planet. Here at Rancho Margot, recycling is way more than just sorting your cans and bottles. These folks see all waste as a resource and have found creative ways to put it to use. I'm here with Medardo Moscoso, or we call him Mosco for short. And he's an agricultural engineer here at Rancho Margot, and he is also a soap maker, isn't that right?
Is that right?
Very cool. And it's quite a unique process they're doing here. Walk me through it, will you?
Okay, we make soap here using the vegetable oil. So this, for example, is the oil that is coming to the kitchen. This is already filtered. We remove all the sediments and all the solids.
So you mean this oil comes straight from the kitchen?
Yeah, that's right. They use this for fried potatoes, chickens, and then...
I just had some fried potatoes.
Did you like it?
Fried sweet potatoes. They were really good. So then from here, what do you do?
We mix your sodium hydroxide with a vegetable oil. And we are
So
gonna
this
have
is
soap.
sodium hydroxide?
Exactly.
Sodium hydroxide. That's lye.
So we're gonna put the lye on the vegetable oil, and you're gonna see...
Is it gonna explode?
No,
I'm just
probably. And then we have to start move for like 20 minutes, and you can see how we change the color. Now we are doing soap. And,
Wow. Oh wow, look at that. It's getting all milky.
and this is important for us because we reduce the pollution that we can produce at the rivers.
Right, because obviously, you know, disposing of vegetable oil is a really, really bad problem. So sometimes, you know, bad restaurants will like pour it into rivers and stuff. So this is a really great solution. Wow, it's starting to look like soap.
So now you can put some exfoliant. We have volcano, stones. This is coffee.
Wow. So you would put this in like as an exfoliant?
It's
Or...
exfoliant.
What about for
else?
smells?
Smells. We have ginger.
Okay. This is so cool. So we're taking, you know, recycled vegetable oil, old coffee grounds, volcanic rock from the volcano. It's things that are all right here, and a lot of these things, they would have just been thrown away, but instead, we're getting a really great product out of it. And that just seems like the theme of everything that they're doing here at Rancho Margot. It's really great. What do you got for color?
We have some natural colorant. This is achiote.
Oh, achote. Oh, you have it right here, the plant.
Yeah.
This is, yeah, achote, or in English they call it anato, or poor man's saffron. And it's a really amazing natural dye that you're starting to see in more and more natural products. You can take this color and you can make like a beautiful point on Mosco's nose. That's good. So what happens next?
So next we have to put this in this container that we have here.
And how long does it stay in here?
45 days.
45 days, wow. So that's it. We just did all that. We just stirred it. We add that, add the color, add the volcanic, and now we pour it in here. It sits for 45 days, and then we have this soap.
Right.
Wow, that's so incredibly simple. I never knew. Wow, the verdad was before. I really, really enjoyed it, man. Thanks so much for showing me that, and everyone knows I could use a little soap.
You're very welcome.
Cool, man.
You can
Great
take
to
some.
meet you. Take
Nice
care.
to meet you.
From fueling cars to making soap, who would have ever thought there were so many ways to reuse vegetable oil? The next time you spot some waste, see if you can find a solution that doesn't involve throwing it in the trash. For Save My Planet, I'm Stephen Brooks. See you next time.